Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
They'll start off with a give to Lewis. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Check 59. Yellow. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. I got you.
Now Mahomes. Flush to his right. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
The Browns opted not to pick a running back with their first 2 selections at number 1 and 4 in the first round. But they circled back in the second round and got a really good one to Nick Chubb out of Georgia. Broke up a nice run there, and that's where he's good. Good vision, able to see where the hole is, and make nice gains each time he touches the ball.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Pickup of 2 brings up 2nd and goal at the Ravens 7-yard line.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They start the drive on the ground with Lewis. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now they'll run with Lewis. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they'll be looking to make this a two-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it.
Through an opening, and there he goes. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 76 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Brought in left side by Snead. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 13. It's a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Mahomes. Caught by Snead over the middle. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 23.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They go play action. Now Mahomes. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
$14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Willie Snead. His first touchdown on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he powers his way up past the 30.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Alert! Alert! Mike 48, Mike 48. I got you, boy. I got you, boy. I got you.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
Complete to Taylor.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check 26, check 26. Whip.
Hurry.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
First down, Cleveland.
Set, 180.
Mike got 2. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Mayfield now from the 50. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
We got this.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Single. 85's coming. 85's coming. Watch him. Hey.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
It's a gain of 16.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
They go play action. Mayfield to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Mayfield now. It's caught by OBJ. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Ravens' 32-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Mayfield with it once more. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
This is taken at the 3.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
And that is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Set, 180.
Check 48's the mic. Here we go. Here we go.
Following the interception, Mayfield. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This officially a 55-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
41 Mike.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
He's coming, he's coming.
Hurry, hurry.
Double up.
And again, it's Chubb. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
From the gun, Mayfield. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Wait, I'm the blue lady.
59. Watch the run.
Watch it.
59 Mike, 59 Mike. Check, 59. You.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
58 for Mike.
57.
58 for Mike. Box trap. Check three.
Hey, 15. What's that?
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Looking deep downfield. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
Set, 180.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Mayfield. pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They're running it.
Now Lewis here on first down. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 12.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And this is going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
Mayfield looks to throw. That is caught at the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb. His 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
intended for Mark Andrews. Incomplete. It's 4th down.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now Landry. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Brings up 2nd and 7. At the 31-yard line.
180.
Here we go. Check 52.
Real. One touch.
They run it again with Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Mike.
Alert. 180. Ball.
We got 3. Mike's 50.
Throwing, Mayfield. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. A good pickup there, 26 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. A run for Nick Chubb. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he gets it down to the 32. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. The 2nd down play, not much better than the 1st, just a gain of 1 there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Point it right.
Mayfield to throw it. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So it's still 1st and goal, but now they get to try from a bit closer. They'll give it to Chubb. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, you can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's a loss of a yard, bringing up 3rd and 12.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd down and 12. Throwing now is Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Now it's Mahomes again. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The D-tackle, Sheldon Richardson, came barreling in for the sack. After the sack on 1st down, Mahomes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Sheldon Richardson able